All right, and we're recording. Welcome back to another episode of I still don't have a title of this, but I want to record, and I still don't know to call this a podcast, online videos. I don't know, but let's get into some topics or my previous week, this past week. And first, I want to say rest in peace to and I'm looking down because I don't know if I said this in the last video. I don't think I did, but rest in peace to Sheila Jackson Lee, and also in the past few days, rest in peace to big Beat King. I say Big King, Beat King, aka Club Godzilla. And if you don't know who Beat King is, go look his music up, play his music, because his legacy is going to live forever. But I want to start this video off talking about Beat King, also known as Justin in his real life, and Sheila Jackson Lee, because when I found out that they passed away, in Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, and Beat King, who was a producer, music artist, club guy for a reason, because he made a lot of songs for the club to get the girls twerking and shaking in the club. And when I found out that both of them passed, it's been about a month in between both of them passed, and Sheila Jackson Lee passed away some weeks ago, probably a month ago now, and Beat King passed away a few days ago. And first I had this thought when it came to Sheila Jackson Lee, that, and she was, I want to say in her 70s, that she lived in the age don't have anything to do with what I'm about to say, but she lived a full life. And even with Beat King, who passed away at the age of 39, he lived a full life. Both of them in different professions, different industries. One was a politician, one was in the music industry, entertainment industry. Both of them lived full lives and died doing what they loved to do. And they also died with their loved ones around them. Sheila Jackson Lee, her family was around her when she passed away. Beat King has been reported and said that his daughters, he have 2 daughters, they were around him when he passed away. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Dying is a part of life. I don't like dying. I don't like dying. I don't like the concept of death. It's weird to me, but everything ends. Like, everything has an expiration date, including our lives. So death is just a part of life as much as birth is. So with both of them, and even though it still seems surreal, like it still seems that they're still here, but they're not, it's a beautiful thing. Or at least when I think about people like them, they got to live a full life, and they got to leave this earth with the people that loved them the most surrounded by them. And then also they have a legacy that they left behind. There will never be another Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, just like there will never be another Beat King. There will be people similar to them, but there will never be people like them. They were pretty much one in one. But the thing that I love most, just thinking about both of them, and even getting the news and finding out about Sheila Jackson Lee, and then again about Beat King, is that they did what they wanted to, and they just made the best of their lives. And neither one of them I knew on a personal level. I have met both of them multiple times. but I can't say I knew, the ins and outs of their personal life. But I can say this, they made the best of it no matter what they were going through. And they did what they loved to do. B. King, he loved music, he loved entertainment, and he got to, live that out. Auntie Sheila, she loved caring for people. She loved caring for the community and representing the community and getting things done for the community, and not just the Black community, but people from Houston, people across the United States. She wasn't just known in Houston or Texas. She was, a congresswoman in DC all the time. And that's so much inspiration, because I know some months back, I don't know if you know, but I'm still unemployed. I think I talked about this in the last video, that August 9th made 1 year of me being unemployed, being laid off. But I've always had this thought process that if I'm broke, if I ain't got the money, I don't deserve to have fun. Like, I've always been hard on myself. Like, I've always told myself, like, especially within this last year, there was weeks, almost months of me just staying in the house, not wanting to go out, because I'm like, I don't have a job. Why am I outside? Why am I in somebody's club? I don't have a job. But then I had to realize that at the end of the day, even though this is not the season that I wish on myself, nobody likes to be broke, there's still ways I can enjoy life. It doesn't cost anything to go hang out with my friends or spend time with my family or go to the park and just, meditate, read a book, exercise, whatever. These are free things. There's, free events that I'm invited to or can go to and still enjoy. The only thing that is costing me is, a little gas money and my time. But it made me realize that at the end of the day, one thing that always a lie that not only I tell myself, but a lot of people tell themselves, is that we have more time. We have more time, which on one end, you do have time. Sometimes we're in so much of a rush to get things done versus just taking our time. But on the other end, it's like tomorrow's not promised today. So I believe that you got to find a balance. Like, you have to still, or at least this is what I'm telling myself, I have to learn to find the balance, like still enjoy today, but also don't be in such a rush to check off the list of goals that I have, that it will come at the right time or in due time. And just, like I said, just thinking about Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee and Beat King, they were living life. Like, they lived a full life for years and years and years. Sheila Jackson Lee, she would be at 3 different events in one day. Even they talked about this at her homegoing service. I think it was Donnie McClurkin that was talking about like how they hit up different events, and even times where I've worked with her, having her at a community event or me being a part of a community event and her being there, her just stopping by to give and I have them upstairs, like give the recognition letter. I cannot think of the actual name that it's called, but present the person with this came from, Congress and representatives, and then her being on to the next event, and even B King, like just knowing him just touring and going to the different cities, like he was always gone because his music, and I remember him since I was in college, he would come when I was in undergrad to SFA and perform. It would be one time, I cannot remember the party, but it was this big party, like big college party. DJ Mr. Rogers was the DJ. B King was one of the performers. He would be there. Or even when I was going to the clubs, like after I turned 18, it was this club called Toke Bar. I was like 18 and up. that would be downtown Houston. And that's when I first met him. He would be in there. And that's when I first met him because we had mutual friends. So from seeing him at Toke Bar, meeting him at Toke Bar, seeing him at SFA, and then graduating, just seeing him do his thing and become a bigger artist, bigger producer, make the biggest hits that's just catchy that a DJ is going to play one way or another. It's a beautiful thing. And it's so crazy because it's just like, at the end of the day, it still don't seem like he's not here anymore, but his legacy lives on forever. And he was a person that was a good person. Like, don't get me wrong, he would talk his shit. He would talk his shit. But he had such a great personality. Like, he was a cool person at the end of the day. And the same thing with Auntie Sheila. She was a great person at the end of the day. Now, she was sturdy. Don't get her wrong. Don't play with her. Don't play with her. But at the end of the day, she always came from a loving heart, like a big heart that just wanted to just do everything for everybody, as long as it was in, the right intentions. So, I don't know. Once again, the death does not sit well with me, and I am constantly praying for the family and friends of those, and even us as regular people, and regular people that just live life to the fullest, doing what they love, either with their 9 to 5 or their family and friends. It's a beautiful thing to just know, there's people out there that live full lives no matter what. And that is something that I am inspiring to do, because I don't really be living a full, or not all the time. When money is right, then I be everywhere because I love to travel. But in seasons like this, where I'm going through a financial transition or I'm in between blessings, I have to learn to still live a full life and work with the resources that I have. So that's something that I'm learning to do. And it's going to happen. That's just a daily process that I have to go through. What's the words I'm looking for? I don't know. Another thing, side note, I have been forgetting like just simple words of how I want to express myself or explain things. I don't know. But anywho, speaking of that, family and friends, I just want to say, I just talked about the layoff, being unemployed for a year, and I am just now starting to have financial, financial problems. Like, my account I'm just now starting to have to choose, which is such a blessing. I am not saying this to complain, because at the end of the day, I went 12 months without having to, as one of my best friends would say, stop a beat, live my regular life. The only thing that I took out was I wasn't going out to eat as much, and I wasn't traveling. Those are really the only two things that I took out. And I wasn't paying for like experiences. I'm one of those, I'll pay for experience, like do something just because it's an experience. So, but pretty much like the extracurricular activities, but all my needs were met these past 12 months without no problem. And I know that was nothing but God's grace. But this week, God has been so good in showing his hand is still on my life, and showing that no matter how my bank account is looking, which right now is just surviving on God's grace, that he still have his hand on my life. Because just randomly, I have friends that was just sending me, money. Just sending me. I have one friend that sent me, was like, hey, here's $20, just get you something to eat. I have another friend, she sent me $100. I have another friend, she sent me $150. Like, slowly, just people just blessing me because they know my situation. They know that I'm also not going to ask for anything. But I'm also in that time, that season of need, but they didn't even have to. Like, they just did it out the kindness of their heart. And I just thank God for them. I thank God for having a tribe that is a blessing, like just willing to bless me because they see or they know that I'm in this time of need. I have another friend, she dropped by. She was at the grocery store and she was like, "You need anything?" And I just wanted, normally I'll say no, but I really wanted to eat some cereal. Like, sometimes I just be having some cravings. So I was like, "Can you give me some cereal, please? Give me, some Cinnamon Toast Crunch." Can you give me some Cinnamon Toast Crunch? And they just came out with the new cinnamon rolls. Now, the one she went to, they didn't have them. The cinnamon rolls is like my favorite. The French toast is number 2. They end up not having it. And I was like, "Well, do they have the French toast?" And she was like, "No." And she ended up going to another store trying to find the cinnamon roll, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but they didn't have it, but they had the French toast version. So anywho, she got that for me. She got me some milk, which I didn't even need the milk, but she got me the milk. She was like, "I can't get you no cereal without getting you milk." And she got me my favorite order from Chick-fil-A. I was like, when she popped up with it, and the way she did it, she was like, "What's a good salad dressing?" Like, she did it in a very, like, not straightforward way. So I'm thinking, because she likes to eat healthy and do different things, and since I knew she was at the grocery store, I was like, "Oh, I like the Chick-fil-A." Like, Chick-fil-A sell the dressings like at HEB or whatnot. And then I was like, because normally when I go to Chick-fil-A, I get the Southwest salad and I'll get it with avocado lime ranch and apple cider vinaigrette. But they sell those dressings in the grocery store like HEB. So I was like, apple cider vinaigrette tastes good with the Caesar salad bacon one. So anywho, she was asking all these questions. I didn't even know that she was really trying to figure out my order, which salad I liked from Chick-fil-A. And when she popped up and I saw the bag and she was like, "Here you go, I got you your favorite order." I was like, "Oh my gosh," like, you want to be somebody's wife. And that's what I love about my friends. Like, they are all just great people. And I really hope, I really be praying that the love of their life finds them and make them into a wife or a husband, because I am friends with great people that just have the biggest heart and will go to the end of the earth to make you happy. And I just love that. I just love that I can experience that with them. Now, did I just delete my little notes? I think I did, yo. I think some strange reason I deleted my notes on my phone that I wanted to talk about. But anywho, so yeah, y'all make my friends turn my friends into wives, because they are some awesome people. They really are some awesome people. Anywho, I really sat here and deleted my notes. That's crazy. Anywho, I know another thing I wanted to talk about. Where am I on time? I cannot. 20 minutes. Jesus. Okay. Another thing I want to talk about is scams. Scams. If you see me looking down, I'm looking at my phone. So I got scammed. Okay, I got it. I got scammed last year, Capital One. And this is the thing. Before I start talking about scams, I'm really still trying to figure out how I want to do the layout of these videos, because when I'm in a moment of a situation, I'll hop on social media. I'm not gonna lie to you, I do have close friends. If you're not in it, then, but you gotta have a wristband. But in my close friends, I talk about a lot of things, and I started things I talk about on my close friends, I talk about on here to a certain degree. But when I'm posting on my close friends, I'm more spicy with it. So I'm trying to figure out, because I can't have this camera with me all the time when things are happening. I'm trying to figure out like how to find that balance. But that'll come when it needs to come. But anywho, going back to scams. So earlier this week, I thought someone had scammed me because Capital One kept sending this text message like, hey, did you make this Amazon purchase? And I was like, no. And anytime that happened, you automatically have to get a new card if you say no. And so I tried to still use the same card, but then a couple of days later, Amazon or Capital One sent me a text message again and was like, hey, are you trying to make this purchase? And I said no. So then they cut the card off, and I'm like, I don't know who trying to use my card, but long story short, I found out who it was. I'm on somebody's account, and Amazon was trying to get their money, and they end up trying to take it from my account. And yeah, but also with Capital One, they cut my other card off because I don't know. Actually, I don't even know why my other card got cut off. So I actually need to call them because right now I can use neither one of my cards. That don't make any sense. But why I was so adamant to thinking it was a scam because two of my relatives' cards had to be replaced. There were different, well, one have Capital One as well, and then the other one, they have a different bank. But also last year, I don't know if I spoke about this on the last video. I don't think I did. No, I don't think I did. Capital One, count your days. Because last year, let me tell y'all, last year, this company reached out, right? Called me, and they were acting as if they were Costco Travel. Now, I do have a Costco membership, so I'm thinking randomly that this is actually Costco Travel, right? Because Costco do have the different, I don't know what you call them, initiatives, programs, different programs, and they're all in the front. They got like the Costco Travel, they have the auto program where they sell cars, they sell insurance. Like Costco have a lot of programs. So long story short, maybe I can call this long story short and it not be a short story. Long story, y'all, I am still trying to figure out what to call this podcast or videos. Let me see. Long story short with Ash. We're gonna see. Put question marks to it. Okay, so I'm on the phone with these people, and where I went wrong was that I did give them my card number, but as they were talking, I gave them my card number, but they was not supposed to charge my card. But as they were talking, they were like, we're going to send you this link. I feel like there's something in my eye. We're going to send you this link for you to put your card information. And as they, continue to explain, I was like, oh shit, this is a scam. And I end up saying, no, thank you. I don't want to continue with this. I don't want the travel. No, thank you. So I hang up, and they still charge my card. So I end up contacting Capital One, telling them that, hey, I didn't make that purchase. I didn't authorize that purchase. And I explained to them what happened. And then so they credit me the amount back, and it was nearly $1,000. They credit me the amount back, but weeks later they took it back because they were like, oh, we investigated in it, and they sent proof that it's you, that you made the authorization and you made the purchase. And I was like, what proof did they send? They were like, oh, they sent your license, and they sent this and they sent that. And I was like, hold up, I I can send you everything. I said, I guarantee you whatever they sent you is not mine, because I never submitted a license to them. I never signed anything. I said, the original representative that I talked to when I first called about this situation, they told me to send an email to them saying that I want a refund. I did not authorize this. I want a refund. What these people did was they took my email, they rewrote the email, because you can change the text. They rewrote the email as if it was me, and they took a screenshot of it and sent it to Capital One. They also uploaded a fake license. They blurred out all the information that would be on the license, like the photo or whoop-de-whoop, and they had a fake signature at the bottom. And I look, because Capital One has sent me pretty much everything that this company or these scammers sent to them as proof that it was me. So I was like, I'm going to provide y'all all the proof. I provided them with all the proof. Do you know Capital One? Bitch asses, God forgive me. They denied it and said the rep that I spoke to was like, we're not investigators. We cannot authorize that this happened. Da 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 da. And that made me so mad. But then also when that happened, it was so much going on. I was dealing with the layoff. Like, it just was so much going on in my life to where I was like, I'll just deal with this later, or let go and let God. And to this day, that scamming company keep calling and trying to get more money out of me. Like, they will keep calling. Like, they call and say, and let me say their name. It's called Sunny Beach Getaways. That was their first fake name. And then there's another fake name that they're going by, because they were like, oh, Sunny Beach Getaways was sold to this company, and this company, in order for your package to still be valid, you need to opt in and buy another vacation package. And it's like, no, first off, I don't have a job. Secondly, I didn't even authorize y'all to take the money that y'all did take. And thirdly, why the fuck would I buy something else when I haven't even used the first 2 trips or whatever that in the original package? Like, let's be fucking for real. So excuse the language. So anywho, with Capital One, they got me. But I have learned in situations like that is that with Capital One or the bank, you cannot tell them that you gave whomever your card number. Because once you tell them you gave them your card number, they just gonna throw it out. Because at that point, they're like, you, regardless of you authorizing it or not, in their minds, once you give that card number to whomever, you authorize that transaction. So what else have I got scanned for? Because I got scanned. I done got scammed a few times. But Capital One, y'all count y'all days, because the way y'all be moving and treating me, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Like, it's not cool at all. It's 5:55. All right, 555 for all my angel number girlies and girlies and guys out there. All right, moving on to the next subject. I need some water. This is not the water I normally drink. I normally drink Ozarka. But, oh, this is a good one. Walking in God's will. Things happen that's nothing but God. Oh, hold that up. Okay, so this past week, I decided after, I know in the last video I discussed, or the last show, I discussed that the different ways that I was going to work on increasing my finances, because, I ain't got no job. So the different ways was creating the Amazon store, picking up clients, because I have a background in marketing and events, in project management. And what else was it? Clients. Oh, and then my actual online store with the digital products. Getting back into that, because I never actually launched it. I started working on it, but I never launched it. There's probably 2 people in this world that know about it. So last week, I started taking calls, to pick up clients, and everyone I spoke to it was a good feeling. It was a good feeling. Now, one client did already sent the deposit, like the things that I was saying they need. So they sent the deposit. They're ready to work with me. Another client that I spoke to the other day, that's not even in Houston, like they're in a whole nother market. I'm not going to say what market they're in, but they're in a whole nother market. And that's something I prayed about. I did not want to just be a local person. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being local and being known in your city. But I know that I've done a lot in Houston, but I want to be known and I want to work in, oh my gosh, my nose. I want to have work and have clients and host events in different markets. I love to travel. So would love to work with people in New York or Chicago or New Orleans or LA or, just different markets. That's my dream. And even the world, if I could have clients in London or in Tokyo, Japan, and have to travel, like that is my ultimate goal, to just be bigger than my hometown. And one of my clients found me in a very random way, or let me say potential clients, because they ain't sent the deposit yet, but we just had the call yesterday. But they found me in the most random way. And they're not local. We have no mutual friends. And they found me in such a random way. And I thought that because I made a post saying, hey, I'm picking up clients. And they found me in such a random way and didn't even know that I made that post, didn't even see that post. And when I was talking to them, and I was like, how did you find me? Like, we have mutual friends. And they went on to explain how they found me. And I was like, wow, that's nothing but God. That was nothing but God. And it just made me think that when you learn to let go of, because I fought for the longest, I'm not going to lie, I always wanted my own agency. That's why I had been filed for my LLC like maybe 2 years ago. But I more so wanted my agency to be me doing a financial backing. Me not necessarily being the day-to-day operations of it, but me supporting it financially and working with, I guess, the high-profile clients in a sense, but more so the agency, me being able to hire a team and pay them and they build it up. God was like, baby girl, you got to start from somewhere. You got to start from somewhere. And your starting from somewhere will not be you dropping $80K on this agency and just thinking you about to just hire some people and go from there. Like, no, you got to starting from the bottom. Then we hear it, like, you got to start from having your own clients under your own agency name. And I'm excited because I wouldn't have never known. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I am scared too, because this is my first time me working directly with small businesses and independent employers, like independent, I don't want to say artists, but just people that's self-employed, small businesses and people that's self-employed. So it is a scary feeling because I have a corporate background. So with that, I'm used to getting paid every 2 weeks, and I'm used to working in-house marketing. For those that don't know, that is the marketing person or marketing department that's inside the company that do everything. So you can either be in-house, like an in-house marketing team, or you can be outsourced and work for an agency and represent that company, and that company be your client or whatnot for marketing or whatnot. But anywho, it's an exciting feeling because I'm like, I know God, and I told one of my pastors this year. I said, I know God is pushing me to work for myself. I know He is, because with the resume I have and the experience I have, it's never been this hard for me to find a job. Granted, the job market sucks. Don't get me wrong. The job market sucks. Or looking for a job right now just sucks all across the board. But it's never been as hard for me to just find a job. Like, for it to be a year, that's crazy. So I told him that, and I was like, I know God is speaking to me, but also one thing that I didn't tell him is that I don't feel that I'm ready. Like, it's like I hear God, or I feel God is pushing me in a direction of, really focusing on my own agency. But on the other end, I'm like, God, I don't want to do that. Like, God, I don't want to do that. I just want to go work for somebody else. Like, I want the stability, in a sense, and the comfort that comes with working for another company. But I want the freedom that comes with working for myself, starting my own company. And this week just told me that I'm fully capable of it. There's people that want to work with me, and even if I don't know the how it's going to happen, God is going to make a way, and He's going to do it in a way that I would have never imagined. Like I said, the clients reaching out, I would have never imagined what they say. Okay, I would have never imagined them reaching out in the random way that they did, in the way that they found me. That was nothing but God. Nothing but God. But anywho, I just said the moral of the story with that is you can pray to be in God's will and pray to walk in a path that He have over your life. He have over your life. But if God starts to give you the signs and you decide to decline it, you really don't want to walk in His will. And that's my problem. Like, I got to be for real with myself. Even though I want one thing, God is showing and proving to me that He got a different path for me. He want me to do something different. Will it be challenging? Yes. But if I have full faith, God is going to carry me, not only hold my hand, but carry me through the whole season. And I'll be successful. I'll be successful at it because it's God's will over my life versus His permissive will, which I think I talked about that on the last video. God's permissive will versus His actual will. If I haven't, short story, permissive will is God still allowing something to happen because you want it, but you don't have all His blessings with it. So it's not going to be as successful versus His actual will for your life. You're going to be successful. As my young adult pastor would say, God's will, when you're in God's will, is going to stay in motion. Like that one. So anyway, y'all just continue to pray for me on that one, because I just been saying there's been nothing but God. Just God. Shout out to, I forgot the name of this company. God is Dope. I think so. I don't know. But anywho, on to the next subject, which, since I'm talking about God, today, let me not knock this out. Today, my church, also this past week, my church has been doing the Matthew 25 challenge, which is just different verses from Matthew, the book of Matthew in the Bible, chapter 25. And today, my church was having a prayer walk, which originally the walk was supposed to start outside and us walk around the church for 30 minutes. But since it's very hot outside, and the church does have a lot of older members, they scratched that. So we end up praying inside the sanctuary, and then we end up walking inside the church building, like in different rooms and things of that nature. But one of the topics that I was assigned to pray about was the youth, the teenagers, not only the teenagers of the church, but teenagers in the nation, teenagers across the world. And I think it's very interesting that I was assigned to the teenagers, because I'm not gonna lie, I like the middle school to high schoolers. I like working with them in a community service way, like community organizations and things of that nature. But going to go be a teacher, no, not gonna happen. And anywho, the one of the ladies that's a part of I forgot what we're just gonna say, why worship. That's the teenagers worship service, but that's a part of why worship. She was just asking what ministry have I served in, and I was like, I said before I've worked with the teenagers, I would volunteer during the trips. I forgot to tell her I was a praise dancer for a quick hot second. But she was like, oh, you should think about coming back. And I was like, no lie. I said, I've been thinking about it. Even when our pastor said that the church needed more workers, more volunteers, I said I would go on the website and check out all the different ministries. But working with the youth has been tugging at my heart. So I think I am going to get back into that ministry. Because I know I haven't been volunteering. I've been giving my gifts to the world, but I haven't been giving my gifts back to God as much as I have in the past before. And I was like, I feel like that's why God sat me down as well, to just refocus on him all the way. So with that being said, I prayed for the teenagers because I feel like, not I feel, but I know it has to be hard. Like I'm a millennial. So I grew up before social media. I grew up before wanting to go to school with lashes on your face, like wanting to go to school looking a certain way. And I grew up before sex was just all up in your face, or having a BBL and having a boob job, or all the things that teenagers see that tell them that they're not good enough if they don't look a certain way. I grew up before that. Now, granted, I also grew up in an era where being dark skinned was not it. And now there's more love for, being a dark skinned person. But as a teenager in today's age, I don't know if I would be able to survive. Like, I don't know who I would be as a teenager in 2024 with everything that's going on with social media. I mean, granted, I pray I would still be me, because I always was that person that just loved me. In a sense, I never really had self-conscious, or I never really was self-conscious. Now, I will say, and this will be another video, I did not know about self-love, but I never was self-conscious. But we'll say that's that topic and that subject for another video. But anywho, I was praying for the teenagers, and ironically, after I left church, I needed to go get gas from my favorite little gas station, Costco gas. Shout out to Costco. And I just talked about Costco too. And I stopped at McDonald's. Because I wanted to get my little meal. When funds ain't right, you gotta change where you go get your pick-me-uppies at. And the first person, the adult that I dealt with that took my order, she was so sweet. But then when I made it to the window, and I'm about to tell y'all my big back order, it was a small frappe mocha with M&Ms in it. Because I love M&Ms, and it just reminded me growing up, I used to my grandfather would always take me to McDonald's on Fridays, and I would get a meal with a McFlurry with M&Ms. So now I don't too much like the McFlurries. And also, they tried to play me. They were like, oh, our ice cream machine not working. I said, I'm getting a frappe. And like, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, you can get that. That's what I said I wanted, but okay. But anywho, made it to the window with the teenager. And when she gave me the drink, now let me back up. Let me finish the order. So the order was small mocha frappe with M&Ms, a large fry, because they got that any size fry for $1. That's what drew me to McDonald's. Them little deals that they have on the app. You better get you one. You better get you one. And a McDouble, which I don't understand why McDoubles are $2 now, because $2.20 or $2.19, like really? But anywho, the main thing I went for was the dollar fries and the frappe mocha with M&Ms. Small, those are the main two items. The double cheeseburger, whatever, McDouble, that was just me being extra. But when I made it to the window, and even on when they ring it up, it say add Oreo. And the lady, she was like, oh, even though it say add Oreo, I'm going to tell them that you want M&Ms. I was like, okay. So I make it to the second window. The young lady, teenager, she hands me my order. She hands me the frappe, and I can see clear as day, because I normally get the frappe with M&Ms in it. Like, I done got it a couple of times, so I know how it's supposed to look when it's in there. And then plus they charge you for it as well. So I'm like, if I'm getting charged for it anyway, I want to make sure I have what I have. Like, because sometimes they'll forget, because it's not a normal thing. People don't normally do an add-on of toppings in their frappe. So she goes to hand me the frappe, and it's Oreos in it. And I was like, I keep checking the time and I can't see. I was like, why I didn't ask for Oreos, I asked for M&Ms. And she was like, we can't fix it with M&Ms. And I was like, why not? And she was like, it messes up our machine. So I'm sitting there confused, because only to me the difference is McFlurry with M&Ms, or even just the ice cream sundae with M&Ms. They use the little machine, like they take the M&Ms out the thing, and then they use the machine to stir it up. That would apply the same thing to the frappe. You dump the little M&Ms, use the machine to stir it up. Or hell, if you didn't want to stir it up, just put it on top, but just make sure it's in there. This little girl just walked away. And I just said, Lord, I just thought it was so ironic that I had just prayed for the teenagers. And I said how I like to work with teenagers. But then I don't want to say forced. I'm put in this situation where I have to deal with a teenager, where there's a difference, and there's a seeming of an, I don't want to say attitude, because I hate saying attitude, but there's a difference that's going on in the communication. And I didn't like the fact that she just walked away, because it's like, you gave me something that I didn't pay for. You gave me something that I didn't want. But also in my mind, I'm like, my gas tank is on E. I need to hurry up and get to the gas station. I don't have time to be going back and forth. And I just prayed for teenagers. So maybe this is it. I end up just driving away, and I was like, Lord, fix my heart. But I also want to pray for this young lady that she have a great day at work, because I don't know the kind of customers that she have to deal with on a daily. But I pray that you just help her to continue to stay in a professional manner. And I constantly want to just pray to just soften the hearts of the younger ones, the teenagers and the young adults in this world, because they just different. And pray for me to have patience with them. So I said all that to say, for those that have teenagers in the Gen Zers, those that's 24 and younger, I pray for y'all. I really do. I really do. Anywho, moving on. That's really it. That's all I really wanted to talk about, because I already talked about the scammers in Capital One. So Capital One, count your days. Who else needs to count their days that played with me this week? Oh, I didn't even talk about the job fairs that I went. So, okay, before I leave, let's talk about an update of my financial situation, because I really want to go through this transition. Like, I know my life is, I know the season is changing. I know the money about to be up. Like, I know it. I feel it. And I want to be transparent. I want to be inspirational. I want people to like see these videos and be inspired to go out and get it on their own as well. Or just see my videos and be like, if she did it, I can do it too. If my country ass can do it, you can do it too. So update on the financial journey for me and career wise. All right. This week I went to three job fairs. That was another thing I should have talked about, the job fairs. Long story short, could I title this Long Story Short podcast? I don't know. Long story short, only one of them was somewhat successful. Excuse me. Only one of them was somewhat successful. I went to this oil and gas. I went to this oil and gas job fair. That was not it for me. It was just too many people. No. I ended up leaving. I got mad. I stood in one line for 30 minutes just for me to make it to the front, because they had this paper of the companies and the roles that they were hiring for. And like I said, I have a background in marketing, events, project management, because technically marketing managers and marketing directors are non-traditional project managers, because all they're doing is managing projects, right? So I stand in this line because I see they have a junior project management role available. Stand in that line 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, I don't know. Standing in it, make it to the front. Not only was people like hopping the line to go straight to the front, but whatever. Make it to the lady just for her to say, oh, I'm sorry, but we're looking to fill that role this week. Like, we already have a candidate that we're waiting to sign the offer. But we didn't have a chance to take it off this paper before we submitted it to the organization. Ma'am, I just stood in this long... Girl, I was so upset. And then the role that I was talking to her about, she was like, this is an entry level role. And I was like, ma'am, nothing about me is entry level. I'm not, no thank you. No thank you. Like the pay that she was telling me. And another thing she said, she was like, oh, we wouldn't be accepting any more roles or opening any more roles until 2025. Ma'am, I need a job by yesterday. No, thank you. The salary y'all are offering, no, thank you. If I gotta wait that long, I'm not waiting for an entry level role at a salary that's way less than what I'm used to making. No, thank you. So then I go to get in line for another employer that I wish I would have gotten their line first, because they actually had project management as a list. On their list of different jobs or different roles. And by the time I got in their line, that line was out the door of the banquet halls, like out the door, wrapped around, just extremely long. And I'm like, the line was not moving. And then this guy was going around and was like, if you're in this line is for Ramco. This line is for Ramco. And I'm like, this line is not supposed to be for Ramco, because I just asked these people. So I end up getting out the line and going back to ask everyone, like, are you in line for XYZ company? Are you in line for XYZ company? And everybody was saying yes. So then I forgot who I was standing in front of. And by the time I made it back to the end of the line, or, towards the end of the line had got even longer. And by then I was just so irritated. And the guy kept going around saying Ramco. And I was like, sir, nobody in this line is in line for Ramco. They're in line for the other company, not Ramco. He was like, are you sure? And I was like, yes. I just went and asked all these people in front of me. It was like, I'm about to go check. And I was like, you can go check, but just know that I already got out of line and lost my place. And now I'm back in line. He was like, I'm gonna go check. I'll be back. So he go check. Lo and behold, he come back and he was like, I'm so sorry. Blame me. He was like, someone told me it was Ramco. I'm so sorry. Go to hell. So, I'm sorry. That is not God. I be torn between bless your heart and go to hell. God, work on my soul, please. But after that, I end up just leaving. I stood in that line maybe another 10 minutes and I end up just leaving because I was like, I don't see the point of standing in this line to talk to someone just for them to tell me, oh, you need the PMP, because I don't have a PMP certification. You need the PMP certification, or I'm not standing in this line for no guarantee. Like, just not. So I end up leaving. I end up going to another job fair, which I talked to more employers, but they didn't really have things that I was looking for at the moment. They said that they do have those roles. They just didn't have it at the moment, or to go check their website and things of that nature. So that happened with the job fairs. I already told y'all about the clients. I had a few client meetings that I, plan to do on my own. And those were very successful. Like, each of the clients that I spoke to, there's ways for them to be, each of the potential clients that I spoke to, there's opportunities for me to be involved or to pick them up as a client. So I'm excited about that. And then also with that, I'm doing discounts for my services. For one, knowing that they're a small business, and what I would charge a small business or a self-employed individual, I wouldn't typically charge them the same rate I would charge a corporation, because that's just different money. Corporations pay way more. That's why I like being in-house. But anywho, that's going to slowly work, and I'm slowly just figuring that out, navigating through that. And then I did speak to a recruiter, and she's submitting me one opportunity. I do know that a phone call I'm having an interview for very soon. They didn't give a date yet, but very soon. And then she submitted me for 2 roles, and one for sure that they want to bring me in for an interview or do a video call. And then I have 2 good friends that I know that just been talking about me to other people. And I love that. I love when, hold on, y'all, wait a minute. Are we over? Oh, I better wrap this up. I love when people talk about me in rooms that I'm not in, and they talk highly of me, and they share my resume. So I do have a couple of people that did that for me, and they said that, there's some people interested in me, and we're just gonna see. So I do know sooner or later, God is working. And since I said God is working, before I cut this show, I have to say shout out to my pastor, or one of my pastors, that saw me today. He just poured into me. He was so surprised to see me, because my church is kind of big and I sit in the back. But he was like, you my celebrity friend. He was like, have you started your business yet? And I laughed and told him I just started taking clients. Like, I just started having client calls this week. And I was briefing him on how my life had been going, very, giving him the small details or whatnot. And he wanted to say, he was like, you were meant to do so much more. Like, the past don't matter. You was meant to just do so much more. And he said some other things, and like things that he envisioned me doing. And I said, yes, just speaking on my life. But it was so crazy, because the things that he was saying were the things that I want to do. And it was like how I spoke on earlier about me traveling and having clients in different cities. He was saying things like that and not knowing. So I just want to say God is good. And moral of the story, me just saying everything that I said within this last hour is, no matter what you're going through, just pray about everything, worry about nothing, because you cannot worry and have faith at the same time. It's not going to happen. So you really got to put all your eggs and all your bets on Jesus that he have you. Still do what you can do on your end, but when you feel like you've done everything you can do on your end, just be still and let God do his part. And with that being said, I just want to give you peace, love, and blessings to everybody that watch that watch this. And I see y'all soon. Talk to y'all later. Peace, love, and blessings.